My lovely students, welcome to Mathological. In this session, we'll be discussing all XAT 2023 decision-making questions. Start करते हैं session. And if you've not already subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe to our channel और साथ में also like the content, also like this video if you are liking the content. Okay, you can also join Telegram channel Mathological or can message me on Telegram at ADITYAKT. So in 2022, there were total 2023, there were total 22 questions of decision making, and there were total 8 sets, out of which one was a set based on quantitative decision making. So we'll be doing all those sets. Start karte hain. The first set is based on Bharat Business School, a premier business school. So let us read the case set first. So Bharat Business School, BBS, a premier business school, was renowned for the quality education it provided. Its faculty, known for their domain area expertise and excellence in teaching, competed with each other for a better student feedback. Of late, the institute was finding it difficult to upgrade its course content with rapidly changing global business scenario. The difficulty is multiplied when the school realized that some of the senior faculty would retire on regular basis starting in the near future. So they are renowned for the quality education they're providing. Faculty known for their domain area expertise and excellence in teaching competed with each other for a better student feedback. Okay. And institute was finding it difficult to upgrade its course content. So this is their concern, difficulty to upgrade its course content. And secondly, they are also realizing that difficulties are going to be multiplied when the school realized that some of senior faculty would retire on regular basis. Okay. Starting in the near future. To overcome these difficulties, BBS decided to recruit young faculty in all the departments: economics, finance, marketing, HRM, and production, etc. When the Dean Academics scanned the applications, she found three distinct types of aspirants. Option 1, A-type candidates who were very good teachers, competent at teaching the courses taught by existing faculty members. B-type candidates who were average teachers, competent at creating and teaching new courses that would complement existing courses taught by the current faculty. And third one are C-type candidates. They are not so good teachers, willing to teach any course BBS required. Three types: type A, type B, and type C. Type A are very good teachers. They are competent at teaching the courses that are already taught by existing faculty. Type B candidates who are average teachers, not very good average teachers, but they are competent at creating and teaching new courses that would complement existing courses taught by the current faculty. And C-type teachers who are not so good teachers, willing to teach any course BBS required. Note 1, a course is termed complementary when it covers latest content and complements existing courses offered by the department. And note 2, each department decides the suite of courses to be offered. This is our basic premise, and then there are 3 questions followed by it. So first question, given the above context, which of the following options will be the best recruitment decision for BBS? What will be best recruitment decision for Bharat Business School? So concerns क्या है हमारी? There are 2 concerns for Dean Academics, or rather for the school. The first concern is that difficulty to upgrade the course content. And second concern is existing faculties, some of the senior faculties are going to retire, so retirements. This is their second concern. So if both these concerns are met with a proper solution by the recruitment decision, then that decision will be our best decision. Okay? So difficulty to upgrade. So if upgradation is addressed by the option, then that will be a good option. Secondly, if retirement is also addressed, then that will be a good option. So upgradation and also retirement. And that should be effective also. So first option, don't recruit and request the existing faculty to develop complementary courses. Now already क्योंकि difficulty to upgrade क्यों था? Institute was finding it difficult to upgrade its quality content with the rapidly changing global business scenario. It was finding it difficult already. So do not recruit any person. तो retirement वाला address तो concern हुआ ही नहीं. Additionally, request the existing faculty only, यानी कि overburden them with developing complementary courses. So this is overburdening them, and no recruitment of fresh faculties. So upgrade is also questionable कि कितना होगा कितना नहीं होगा, but retirement for sure is not, that issue is not being resolved. So first option should not be selected. Option B, hire B-type candidates so that all types of courses can be offered to students. Okay, seems fine कि hire B-type candidates so that all types of courses can be offered, क्योंकि यहाँ से upgrade वाला issue kind of resolve हो जाएगा. ठीक है, but retirement भी हो रहा है, retirement of senior faculty is there. And B-type candidates are not very good teachers. They are average teachers. Okay, they are average teachers. But seems fine, better than option A. Option C, hire A-type candidates unconditionally and allow them to teach courses taught by the existing faculty. So hiring them unconditionally, that is the problem, and then allow them to teach courses taught by the existing faculty. Yani retirement wala issue will be addressed, but upgradation will not be addressed because they are only going to teach the same courses that are being already taught. Option D, hire A-type candidates on a condition and they will have to develop complementary courses. So if they are going to develop complementary courses, then that will solve the issue of upgradation. And since we are hiring A-type candidates, they are very good teachers, retirement wala issue bhi solve ho jayega. So both issues are being solved with option D, and hence this should be the answer. Hiring C-type candidates does not make any sense because they can teach any course, yes, but they are not very good teachers. And not very good teachers, यानी कि quality of education will be going down with them. अपग्रेडेशन भी नहीं हो पाएगा और रिटायरमेंट के बाद में क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन विल आल्सो गो डाउन. तो डेफिनेटली ऑप्शन डी इज द बेस्ट अमंग द गिवन ऑप्शंस. कंपटीशन सिर्फ और सिर्फ ऑप्शन डी और ऑप्शन बी में था कि विच वन शुड बी चोजन बिटवीन डी एंड बी. तो क्लियरली डी इज द विनर. Okay, because B type candidates are average teachers, so A type are better teachers, better than them, so they should be hired because retirement hoga senior faculties ka, so A type teachers will be competent enough. And secondly, if they are able to develop complementary courses, that is a win-win. So D is the best option in the first question. Next question. Question number 2. Suppose that Dean Academics wanted to reduce future conflicts and political maneuvering to ensure harmony among faculty. So now Dean Academics का एजेंडा क्या है? To reduce future conflicts and political maneuvering. So which of the following options will best reduce conflicts and politicking among the faculty? हमें reduce करना है conflicts and politicking. Option A, hire B type candidates that to teach complementary courses. In this way, A type candidates are going to teach existing courses and B types are going to teach complementary courses. So there will be no conflict between them. ठीक है? B type candidates will be complementing the existing faculty. A type नहीं existing. A type तो हायर ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो existing faculty will be teaching existing courses and B type will be taking complementary courses. There is no conflict of interest and hence smooth रहेगा मामला. ठीक है, ऑप्शन ए को होल्ड पे रखते हैं. ऑप्शन बी, हायर A type candidates to teach existing courses and ask existing faculty to teach new courses. यानी कि A type candidates will be teaching the courses that are already existing and existing faculty will be teaching new courses. So this will be basically conflict क्रिएट होगा इसकी वजह से. अगर ए टाइप से नए कोर्सेज को कराते और फिर एग्जिस्टिंग फैकल्टी वुड हैव टॉट एग्जिस्टिंग कोर्सेज, दैट वुड हैव बीन फाइन, बट दिस इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. दिस विल नॉट बी द आंसर. ऑप्शन सी, हायर ए टाइप कैंडिडेट्स एंड लेट द न्यू एज वेल एज एग्जिस्टिंग फैकल्टी ऑफर सेम कोर्सेज. सेम कोर्सेज आर गोइंग टू बी ऑफर्ड बाय न्यू एज वेल एज एग्जिस्टिंग फैकल्टी. सो बोथ आर गोइंग टू ऑफर सेम कोर्सेज. तो अगेन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा, कोर्स ओवरलैप होगा, तो नॉट गुड. So this should not be selected. Hire C-type candidates and allow them to teach all types of courses. Does not make any sense. Rejected. Hire B-type candidates and allow them to teach all kinds of courses. Similar logic. Option A is best option among the given options. And in that case, we'll be having minimum conflict क्योंकि यहाँ पे hire B-type candidates and allow them to teach all kinds of courses. Does not make sense क्योंकि फिर conflict आएगा in the existing courses. में conflict आएगा. Isn't it so? So simple option था, option A should be the answer in second question. Okay, next option, question number 3. Suppose the Dean Academics wanted to ensure the most efficient utilization of faculty resources. So which of the following hiring decision will ensure the most efficient utilization? तो हमें utilization करना है इस बार most efficient. Efficient implies most optimal resource utilization. Efficient is least investment and minimal wastage. Which option ensures that least investment and minimal wastage? Option A, hire A type candidates capable of developing complementary courses. So that is a good option. So if we can hire A type candidates, they are very good teachers, and if they are capable of developing complementary courses, that is also good. Option B, hire C type candidates and assign them teaching assistant responsibilities. Now teaching assistant की तो जरूरत ही नहीं है as such. Again, so this is kind of irrelevant option. You are additionally solving a problem जो कि exist ही नहीं करती. So option B is rejected. Option C, hire B type candidates to teach complementary courses. Okay, so that seems fine. Option D, hire A type candidates and let the new as well as existing faculty teach same courses. So if new as well as existing faculty are going to teach same courses, this is not the efficient utilization. बिकॉज बोथ आर गोइंग टू टीच सेम कोर्सेज और अपग्रेडेशन वाली बात ही खत्म हो गई यहाँ पे. तो ऑप्शन डी इज ऑल्सो रिजेक्टेड. आस्क एग्जिस्टिंग फैकल्टी टू डेवलप कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कोर्सेज. अगर एग्जिस्टिंग फैकल्टी कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कोर्सेज डेवलप कर ही पाती तो प्रॉब्लम ही क्या था. तो डेफिनेटली this will make upgradation difficult, and this is also not efficient utilization. So we have to select between A and C. Which one will be more efficient between A and C? Think about it. कौन सा हमारा ज़्यादा efficient होगा कि A type candidates teach करें developing complementary courses, या फिर हमारा B type candidates teach करें complementary courses. Which one will be better option? देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि ऑप्शन A वर्सेस C इज द केस. ऑप्शन A में वी आर हायरिंग A टाइप कैंडिडेट्स who are capable of developing complementary courses. So that is good because they are very good teachers. Good teachers. The quality of education will be good. Additionally, they are also capable of developing complementary courses. That is a win-win. And in case of C, we are hiring B-type candidates to teach complementary courses. So the quality is not that good, but they can teach complementary courses, yes. Additionally, since retirement is also going to happen, so after retirement, we'll have better option with option A. Because option A is addressing both concerns. Complementary courses का concern भी address कर रहा है और साथ में retirement का concern भी address कर रहा है. Both are being addressed efficiently. तो option A is better and efficient utilization as compared to option C. क्योंकि option C में हमारा complementary courses वाला concern तो address हो जा रहा है, but retirement वाला concern is not going to address because senior faculty are going to be retiring and B type candidates are not that good teachers as compared to A type candidates. Additionally एक बात और है जो option C में को डिफरेंट बनाती है. दैट इज वन वर्ड दैट इज सेइंग बी टाइप कैंडिडेट्स टू टीच कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कोर्सेज. सो मे बी दे आर ओनली टीचिंग कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कोर्सेज एंड नॉट डेवलपिंग इट. दे आर ओनली बीइंग असाइंड द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू टीच इट, बट डेवलप कौन करेगा? बिकॉज दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट मैंशन. सो दैट ऑल्सो मेक्स इट मोर डेफिशिएंट एंड हेंस ऑप्शन ए इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन. Because A type candidates are capable, hire only those A type candidates who are capable of developing complementary courses. So that will be making most efficient utilization out of the given options. Clear है? So this is our first set from XAT 2023. अब अगले set पे चलते हैं. So next set is on Aarti, CEO of an FMCG company. So this is the basic premise, and then there are a total 3 questions on this premise. So just read the questions, read the premise. Aarti, CEO of an FMCG company, was under pressure from board of directors to increase diversity in the workforce. The board wanted the company to hire candidates with vision impairment, as it's believed that they contribute to organization in many unique ways. This is the belief of board of governors. The CEO was apprehensive of hiring visually impaired candidates. The CEO was apprehensive. Aarti was apprehensive. She was not sure about the feasibility of accommodating them in the current setting. Whether they will be able to accommodate them in the current setting or not. Moreover, Aarti was also unsure as to how the visually impaired could contribute meaningfully in the organization. So CEO is apprehensive whether it is even feasible to accommodate visually impaired candidates, and secondly, whether they will be able to contribute meaningfully to the organization. A person with a vision, अब definition given है कि who is having a visual impairment. So a person with a vision impairment in a range of 60 to 100% is referred to as visually impaired person, and a person with 100% vision impairment cannot see at all. Okay. So then, first question on this, the following arguments were presented to Aarti about the candidate with vision impairment, and then there are 6 arguments. Question हमारा क्या है? पहले question system को पढ़ते हैं because that is the most important part. From the above arguments, which of the following options indicate that CEO's apprehensions are misplaced? Apprehensions क्या थे? Apprehension was basically first thing was कि accommodation, feasibility of accommodating them in current setting. So feasibility of accommodation, and second meaningful contribution. So 2 apprehensions are there. First is feasibility of accommodation, and second is meaningful contribution. And we have to select those options which are suggesting that, indicating that apprehensions are misplaced, यानी कि not right, यानी कि they can be accommodated feasibly in the current setting as well as they can contribute meaningfully. So statement 1, argument 1, visually impaired can do some activities better than the normal people. So if they can do some activities better than the normal people, then definitely they can meaningfully contribute. Additionally, hence, complement other employees. They can also complement other employees. So this is good option. This must be chosen as the right argument. And this also indicates that apprentices are misplaced. Second one, visually impaired can motivate other employees. So they can also motivate, will be having a positive impact on the workforce. Definitely this is also good. 2 should also be included. 1 and 2 should be part of the answer. और सारे का आंसर है ही है, सारे पार्ट है ही है. थर्ड वन, विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कैन एक्ट एज अ रोल मॉडल फॉर अदर डिसएडवांटेज पीपल इन द सोसाइटी. तो इसको होल्ड पे रखते हैं. दो, इट इज अ गुड ऑप्शन, इट इज ऑल्सो रेलेवेंट. फोर्थ वन, विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कैन वर्क हार्डर टू प्रूव देमसेल्व्स. नाउ दिस इज अ गुड ऑप्शन. They can work harder to prove themselves. This is also meaningful and should be included, part of the answer. 5. Hiring visually impaired people may enhance organizational reputation, which may consequently lead to better sales. So if hiring them will enhance organizational reputation, and this will also lead to better sales and more success for the company. So this is also a good option. So 1, 2, 4, 5, these all must be selected, must be part of the option. तो जहाँ पे नहीं है वहाँ पे रिजेक्ट कर दोगे उस ऑप्शन को. 6 1, visually impaired have to be paid 20% extra salary. Now, this is not saying anything positive as such. This is only saying that there will be a cost burden because they had to be paid 20% extra salary. So this is not in the direction जो हमें चाहिए कि apprehensions are misplaced. So this should be rejected. 6 should be rejected, and hence option A and option E are eliminated. Now we have to choose between B, C and D. Now 1, 2, 4, 5 should be part of the answer. तो B भी reject हो गया. और बिटवीन सी एंड डी कौन सा सेलेक्ट करेंगे? बिकॉज सी में ऑप्शन 3 भी ऑल्सो 3 भी है. तो 3 कह रहा है हमारा विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कैन एक्ट एज अ रोल मॉडल फॉर द अदर डिसएडवांटेज पीपल इन द सोसाइटी. सो वेदर दैट शुड बी इंक्लूडेड और नॉट इंक्लूडेड. क्या इसको इंक्लूड करना चाहिए कि नहीं इंक्लूड करना चाहिए? बिकॉज अगर इफ दे आर also acting as a role model for other disadvantaged people in the society, then definitely that is also improving our social perception of the company, isn't it so? So this is also a good option, and hence this must also be included, and hence option C will be the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Only 6 has to be rejected and all other should be accepted. Okay. Clear? आगे बढ़ते हैं next question पे. Aarti wanted to follow the suggestions given by the board of governors. However, she was not sure if the company was ready to accommodate candidates with 100% visual impairment. Also, the concern of involving such employees in meaningful activities was constantly bothering her. Hence, she constituted a committee to come up with recommendations that would help the company in hiring 100% visually impaired employees. So she formed a committee for that. After 2 months of deliberations, the committee came up with the following recommendations. So total 4 recommendations given by the committee. और फिर पहले क्वेश्चन पढ़ते हैं, फिर रिकमेंडेशंस को पढ़ते हैं. विच आर द फॉलोइंग ऑप्शंस विल बेस्ट एले कंसर्न्स एज वेल एज बी फेयर टू ऑल स्टेक होल्डर्स. ठीक है, बेस्ट एले द कंसर्न्स एज वेल एज बी फेयर टू ऑल स्टेक होल्डर्स. अब यहाँ पे स्टेक होल्डर्स हमारे कौन कौन से हैं? स्टेक होल्डर्स आर बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स आर स्टेक होल्डर्स. Aarti as a CEO is a stakeholder. Visually impaired are also stakeholders, and then other employees are also stakeholders in this case. So we have to be fair to all the stakeholders, as well as best allay the concerns. Which of the following options are best allaying the concerns? After 2 months of deliberation, committee came up following. First recommendation है hiring visually impaired candidates employees unconditionally as it is any company's social responsibility. Now again, unconditionally is extreme statement. ठीक है, unconditionally तो कुछ भी नहीं करोगे, तो definitely this should be rejected. Unconditionally तो कुछ भी नहीं करना होता, कुछ ना कुछ कंडीशन तो रहनी चाहिए. ठीक है. सेकंड, हायरिंग विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कैंडिडेट्स इन द एक्टिविटीज दे कैन कंट्रीब्यूट. नाउ दिस मेक्स सेंस कि हायर देम इन दोज एक्टिविटीज वेयर दे कैन कंट्रीब्यूट. दिस मेक्स सेंस. सेकंड इज राइट and fair to all stakeholders. Third one, ensure visually impaired friendly office spaces, food courts, restrooms and parking. This is very inclusive, that if we are going to hire them, then we should have office space that is visual impaired friendly. We should have food courts accordingly, restrooms and parking. So third should also be there. Fourth one, allow guide dogs to assist employees with 100% vision impairment in the office premises. So second and third must be selected. Fourth should also be selected because it will help them assist the employees with 100% visual impairment. So allow guide dogs. 2, 3 and 4 should be our answer. और फिर भी थोड़ा भी डाउट हो तो 2 and 3 तो कहीं पे भी ऑप्शन में गिवन भी नहीं है, तो स्ट्रेट अवे हमारा आंसर हो जाएगा 2, 3 and 4 because 1 should not be there part of the answer. Okay, clear? And allowing guide dogs will definitely assist the employees with 100% vision impairment. So that will help. All last 3 should be selected, but first one, unconditional hiring, that should not be done. And last question of this set, Suresh refuses to be served coffee by visually impaired baristas, but he doesn't believe in donating to the visually impaired. So he's refusing to be served coffee, but he does believe in donating to the visually impaired. The following statements could explain why Suresh does not want to be served by visually impaired baristas, and we have to answer from the following. Choose the option that best explains Suresh's biased behavior. The statements that best explain Suresh's biased behavior. Statement 1, he thinks that visually impaired are inefficient at serving coffee. This makes sense because he is refusing to be served coffee. So he might have thought so. Possible है, ऐसा सोचा हो सकता है. ठीक है, तो this could be possible. This may explain. Second one, his parents have taught him to donate instead of accepting services. This also makes sense because he believes in donating, but he refuses to be served coffee. So second one is also valid. Third one, he believes that his refusal to be served will have adverse consequences. Now, if his belief was that refusal to be served has adverse consequences, तो he would have not refused. है कि नहीं? अगर उसको ये भरोसा होता कि refusal to be served will be having adverse consequences, then he would not have refused. So this does not make sense क्योंकि ये तो opposite indicate कर रहा है. But he is refusing, so that does not make sense. The third should be eliminated. Fourth, he feels joyous amongst visually impaired, sharing his life and caring for them. Feels joyous, sharing his life and caring for them. Now, fourth is not consistent with the idea, with the biased behavior. So definitely fourth should also be rejected because not consistent with the biased behavior. So 1 and 2 should be part of the answer and only 1 and 2. Option A will be the answer. Okay. Clear? Next set पे चलते हैं. Now this is a quantitative decision making set and followed by basically 3 questions are there. Let us read out the basic premise first. So to prepare क्या हो रहा है? To prepare a dish, dosa sambar, idli chutney, rajma chawal and mawa bati, the chef has to finish 9 activities, some of which could be done simultaneously, while others could not be done simultaneously. ठीक है, सो कुछ एक्टिविटीज ऐसी हैं जो कि साइमल्टेनियसली की जा सकती हैं, बट कुछ साइमल्टेनियसली नहीं किया जा सकता. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी स्टार्ट विद एक्टिविटी ए एंड देन बी डी एफ जी, दीज आर इन अ सीक्वेंस एंड सी ई एच आर इन अनदर सीक्वेंस. देखिए, दे कैन बी डन साइमल्टेनियसली एज पर द डायग्राम, एंड देन फाइनली ई. Okay, so this is one parallel group of activities that can be done in a sequence, and this is another parallel group. And the diagram implies that B and C can be done simultaneously. Okay, B, D, F, G are in a separate group and C, H are in a separate group. Anyway, while others could not be done simultaneously, one of the challenges faced by the chef was to precisely calculate the preparation time of a dish and communicate the waiting time to the customers. However, based on the past data, the chef had an idea about approximate time taken to complete each activity. He had noted down the best, that is optimistic time, worst, that is pessimistic time, and most likely, that is most commonly observed time to finish each of the 9 activities. Further, the chef realized that frequency of occurrence of most likely time was 66.666%, and the frequency of occurrence of pessimistic and optimistic time was 16.66% each. The diagram below shows the activities involved, and the table shows the optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely times for each activity. The data given hमें for all the activities, optimistic time in minutes, pessimistic time in minutes, and most likely time in minutes. So first question है हमारा, expected time to prepare the dish is the weighted average of optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. अब optimistic का probability क्या है? 16.66%, यानी कि this is 1/6. For pessimistic, this is also 1/6, and for most likely, this is 66.66, which is 2/3 or 4/6. So if total weightage, भाई अगर हम total weightage लें, तो if total weightage is equal to 6, then weightage of optimistic activities is 1. For pessimistic activities is also 1. Optimistic time and pessimistic time, and most likely time, this will be equal to 4. So if we take total weightage equal to 6, then 1 will be weightage for optimistic, 1 for pessimistic, and 4 for most likely. क्या यहाँ तक बात clear है? And accordingly, we can calculate the expected time for a particular activity. है कि नहीं? एक एक्टिविटी के लिए एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम निकाल सकते हैं इस तरह से. अब क्वेश्चन कह रहा है हमसे, which of the following is the expected wait time for the chef to communicate to the customers? Expected wait time, which will be weighted average of all the values. Okay, so since we'll be having first A, and then after A, by A का टाइम निकालेंगे separately, then B, D, F, G, they are in a sequence, so we can find out expected time for BDFG. And in parallel, we'll also be finding out expected time for C and H. For example, if this time is T1 and this time is T2, अभी एक बार T1 और T2 की वैल्यू निकली तो विच एवर विल बी हायर दैट विल बी एडिंग ऑन टू द टाइम बाई ए. ठीक है, ए से जो भी टाइम आएगा आउट ऑफ दीज टू जो टाइम हमारा हायर होगा हम उसको ऐड करेंगे, बिकॉज लेसर टाइम तो हमारा एक्सपेक्ट टाइम होगा फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी के लिए, फर्स्ट पैरेलल सीक्वेंस के लिए, बट सेकंड वाला भी तो इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो आउट ऑफ T1 एंड T2 विच वन विल बी हायर दैट शुड बी टेकन. और फिर उसके बाद में फाइनली हम एक्टिविटी आई का टाइम ऐड करेंगे, एक्सपेक्ट टाइम. तो क्या ये लॉजिक क्लियर है? ठीक है, ओके, लेट अस फाइंड आउट दैट. वेट एवरेज कैसे निकालेंगे? वेट एवरेज सिंपल है, जो भी वैल्यूज हैं गिवन है हमको उनको लेंगे, रिस्पेक्टिव वेट्स से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे और फिर डिवाइड बाई टोटल वेट्स करेंगे, सम ऑफ वेट्स करेंगे. तो फॉर एग्जांपल एक्टिविटी ए में ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, पेसिमिस्टिक एंड मोस्ट लाइकली ऑल टाइम्स आर इक्वल टू 1. तो दिस फॉर दिस एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम विल बी इक्वल टू 1 ओनली. सिमिलरली लास्ट एक्टिविटी आई के लिए क्या है 555, तो दिस विल बी इक्वल टू 5. अब हमें फोकस करना है ऑन BDFG. तो फॉर एक्टिविटी बी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक टाइम इज 2, वेट इज 1, तो 2 into 1 विच विल बी इक्वल टू 2, 3 into 1 will be equal to 3 and 3 into 4 will be equal to 12. So 12 plus 3 plus 2 यानी 17 divided by total weights 1 plus 1 plus 4 17 by 6. This will be our expected time. For activity D, because B के बाद next is D, so this is 17 by 6. For activity D, this is 555 यानी कि total will be equal to 5. Plus for activity F, this is 111 यानी कि total will be equal to 1. जब सारी वैल्यू सेम ही है तब तो फिर कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं. और फॉर G, this is 5 10, तो 5 into 1 10 into 1 and 7 into 4 is 28. तो 28 plus 10 38 plus 5 33. This will be 33 divided by 6. टोटल टाइम आ गया हमारा 5 plus 1 6 और 17 plus 33 50 by 6. तो 6 plus 50 by 6 which will be 8 and 1 by 3. तो 8 plus 6 14. एक सेकेंड कुछ गड़बड़ किए हैं क्या? 28 plus 10 38 plus 5 43. हाँ ठीक है, 43 by 6 हो गया. दिस इज 43 by 6. BDFG, F का 1 था, D का 5 था, B का ठीक है 17 by 6 था. तो 17 plus 43 60 by 6 यानी कि 6 plus 60 by 6 16 minutes. ओके, नाउ फोकस ऑन CEH. तो फॉर एक्टिविटी C 10 13 and 12 into 4 48. तो 48 plus 13 61 plus 10 71. 71 by 6 हो जाएगा. And then for activity E, this will be 3 plus 6 plus 16. 16 plus 6 22 plus 3 25. 25 by 6 हो जाएगा. And for last activity H, this will be 9 13 and 10 to 4 40. तो 40 13 53 plus 9 62. 62 by 6 हो जाएगा. So for activity C, this is 71 by 6 plus for E, this is 25 by 6. And lastly, 62 by 6. 71 plus 25 is 96. 96 by 6, 16. 16 plus 10 and 1 by 3. So 26 and 1 by 3. This is our time for CEH activities and 16 minutes was the time for BDFG. तो लार्जर टाइम आ रहा है फॉर CEH और इसी को हम इसलिए कंसिडर करेंगे. तो हमारा टोटल एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम विल बी टाइम फॉर A विच इज 1 प्लस 26 and 1 by 3 plus 5. So 26 plus 5 plus 1, 32 and 1 by 3 will be our answer. This will be expected wait time which is option B. Okay. क्लियर है? हालांकि इस क्वेश्चन में ही हमें कैलकुलेशन ज़्यादा करना पड़ा, इसके बाद के जो क्वेश्चन है वहाँ पे कैलकुलेशन कुछ भी नहीं है. तो अगर जस्ट इन केस अगर एग्जाम में टाइम कम रहता है तो डेफिनेटली फिर अगर ये क्वेश्चन नहीं भी कर पाते तो भी इसके बाद वाले क्वेश्चन सेकंड और थर्ड क्वेश्चन जरूर करना चाहिए था. ओके, क्या ही क्लियर है? अगले क्वेश्चन में चलते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. Customer dissatisfaction is the difference of actual waiting time and expected waiting time, EWT. So customer satisfaction, dissatisfaction, let us say that is equal to CDS, and that is equal to difference of actual waiting time and expected waiting time. And AWT is the actual time spent by the customer before being served the dish. EWT of the customer is the time communicated by the chef. What is the minimum waiting time that the chef should communicate to ensure minimum customer dissatisfaction? तो इंश्योर अगर करना है कि कस्टमर डिससेटिस्फैक्शन मिनिमल हो तो व्हाट शुड बी मिनिमम वेटिंग टाइम दैट शुड बी कन्वेड बाय द शेफ. क्या टाइम होना चाहिए वो? अगर शेफ इंश्योर करे कि जो वर्स्ट पॉसिबल केस है, वर्स्ट पॉसिबल सिनेरियो, यानी कि इन ऑल केसेस इफ पेसिमिस्टिक टाइम ही इज गोइंग टू गिव, ठीक है, कि वर्स्ट हाईएस्ट टाइम कितना लग सकता है, मैक्सिमम टाइम कितना लग सकता है, जितना मैक्सिमम टाइम लगेगा, इफ शेफ कम्युनिकेट्स दैट टाइम, देन इन दैट केस कस्टमर डिससैटिस्फैक्शन विल बी मिनिमल, बिकॉज इन दैट केस AWT विल बी इक्वल टू EWT फॉर श्योर, है कि नहीं? क्लियर है? तो दैट शुड बी द टाइम communicated, isn't it so? क्या है? क्लियर है? ओके ओके, सो व्हाट विल बी टोटल पेसिमिस्टिक, टोटल वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो में कितना टाइम लगेगा? सो एक्टिविटी A विल बी टेकिंग 1 minutes, बिकॉज वो तो सारे केस में 1 minute ले रहा है. एक्टिविटी I विल ऑल्सो बी टेकिंग एग्जैक्टली 5 minutes, बिकॉज इन दोनों के केस में तो सारे ऑप्टिमिस्टिक पेसिमिस्टिक और मोस्ट लाइकली सारे टाइम सेम है. बट फॉर अदर ऑल द अदर एक्टिविटीज विल बी टेकिंग पेसिमिस्टिक टाइम, वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो, यानी कि मैक्सिमम टाइम कितना लग सकता है, एंड दैट टाइम विल बी कन्वेड बाय द शेफ. इन दैट केस अगर उतना टाइम भी लगता है तब भी कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन डिससेटिस्फैक्शन विल बी मिनिमाइज्ड. तो फॉर BDFG दिस विल बी 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 10. 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 10. So this is equal to 19. And for CEH, this is 13 plus 6 plus 13. The total is 32. So worst case scenario mein time will be 1 plus 32 plus 5, which is equal to 38 minutes. And hence time communicated should be, by the chef, should be 38 minutes. Option B will be the answer. If this time is communicated, then customer dissatisfaction will be minimized for sure. Okay. Now, last question of this set. Which of the following is the most volatile activity of the chef? Most volatile activity of the chef क्या होगा? Most volatile activity will be that activity जिस केस में कि हमारा difference between the times is maximum, the range is maximum, यानी कि हमें minimum expected time और maximum expected time के बीच का difference है, that gap is maximum, range is maximum. So that will be most volatile. Range should be maximum. So difference between optimistic and pessimistic, this should be maximum. For activity A, this is 0. For B, this is equal to 1. For C, this is equal to 3. For D, 0. E के लिए also 3. For F also 0. Z, this is equal to 5. And H, for H, this is equal to 4. For I also, this is 0 only. So definitely G is the most volatile activity. Option D is the answer. So basically third question and second question needed not much calculation. और फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन हमें करना था, तो सेकंड थर्ड शुड एनीवे वुड हैव बीन सॉल्व्ड वेरी फास्ट. ओके, नेक्स्ट सेट पे चलते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज ऑन अ ग्रुप ऑफ philanthropists led by Niyabuddin, and they've opened a free food center. Let us read the premise first, and then there are total 3 questions followed by the premise. Okay. During the floods of 2018-19, a group of philanthropists led by Niyabuddin wished to open free food center for the needy. Their motto was that no human should be hungry. This was their motto, no human should be hungry. Nothing gives more satisfaction to the philanthropists than to see the hungry eat to the fullest. Okay. Than to see the hungry to the fullest, eat to the fullest. Post COVID-19, the group started a food center by the name Winborn Life Care Food WBLCF in a small town called Palakkad. The center started gaining popularity as the number of people enjoying free meals increased over time. Initially, WBLCF offered a standardized menu consisting of idli, upma, puttu for breakfast, curd rice for lunch, and idli or upma for supper. 6 women were employed by WBLCF to prepare all the meals. Okay. As the number of diners increased, they started expecting a variety in the menu. At WBLCF, not all the diners eat free. While 2/3 of the diners get free food, 1/3 would donate some amount to a transparent charity box kept at the entrance. For example, a man donated rupees 500 after consuming 2 idlis, and a woman approached Niyabuddin and inquired about donating 10 kilograms of rice. Those who could not afford to donate were often seen prostrating worshipfully in front of the charity box. Some caring individuals made monetary donations, while others donated rice, fruits, and vegetables to WBLCF. Further, the center received inquiries from many locals on how they could contribute to the cause. As the center was lauded for its philanthropic work by people of the town, Niyabuddin intended to replicate the initiative in the nearby districts as well. Okay. However, he is concerned about the cost that goes into running the center. Almost 75% of the donations amount goes into buying the cooking ingredients, 75% goes into cooking ingredients, and then rest goes into paying salaries, operations, and maintenance costs. This is our basic premise. So Niabuddin wants to replicate the same model in nearby districts as well. That is our concern, maybe, or further. देखते हैं अपना पहला क्वेश्चन. First question is, from the following, choose the most important challenge that Niabuddin has to overcome to sustain WBLCF. What is the most important challenge that Niabuddin is facing and he should overcome to sustain WBLCF? Now, option A, paying salary to employees, says that is a challenge. Option B, attracting enough diners. Now, that is not as such a challenge, but yes, for success, that is important. If WBLCF has to be successful, then for that is important. This is important. Otherwise, not a challenge as such. C, preparing only local dishes for diners. Now, that is not precisely a challenge. Only local dishes. Getting enough finances and donations. Now, this is the most important challenge for any enterprise, whether that is a business or a company or NGO. So yes, getting enough finances, because all the other problems are related to finances only. But if there are enough finances, then salaries can be paid. If there are enough finances, then definitely you can have more employees and many other things. Having enough cooks and employees. Now, this is also dependent on finances only. This is also dependent on finances only. So best option is option D. That most important challenge is the financial challenge. If he wants to expand also, then for that also he needs money. So financial challenge is the most important. Option D will be the answer, clearly. Okay. The first question is very, very direct and simple. Second question, Niabuddin realized that on some days the food was wasted, while on other days diners went back hungry. Kuch din aisa hua, food is wasted, and on some other days diners went back hungry. He sought advice from a consultant friend on how to reduce wastage. The consultant suggested the following. First, launch a mobile app so that diners can pre-inform their arrival to WBLCF. Same as Bhandara app करके एक app है ना. तो launch a mobile app so that diners can pre-inform their arrival to WBLCF. Second one, ask diners who enjoy free meal to distribute excess food to hungry on streets. Option 3, ask diners to eat less as it is good for health. Fourth one, preach people to eat less. Fifth one, ration amount of food to be served to the diners. Now, 5 suggestions are there suggested by the consultant. Which of the above ideas will not be consistent with the core ethos of WBLCF? So what is the core ethos of WBLCF? That is mentioned here. No human should be hungry. No human should be hungry, and nothing gives more satisfaction to the philanthropist than to see the hungry eat to the fullest. So this is the basic premise. This is the core ethos of WBLCF with which it has been opened. So if we check third one, ask diners to eat less. This is not going with the ethos of WBLCF, because they want the hungry to eat to the fullest and no human should be hungry. So if they are eating less, then maybe it is good for health, but they might still be hungry after eating. Fourth one, preach people to eat less. Same logic for this one also. So this should also be rejected. And fifth one, ration amount of food to be served to the diners. Well, this is good to reduce wastage. Okay, good to reduce wastage, and this is a practical option. Practical option as well. Definitely, this is how it should be done. But in case of WBLCF, this will not be right, because this is not going with their ethos. And hence 3, 4 and 5 should be rejected, and those will be part of the answer. Option E will be the answer. One keh raha hai, launch a mobile app. That is fine. That is not against the ethos. And 2, asking diners to enjoy free meal to distribute excess food to the hungry. That is also good. So 1 and 2 are good. They are compatible with their ethics, core ethos. But 3, 4 and 5 are not compatible. So that is why they will be rejected, and these are the ideas not consistent. And last question of the set. Niabuddin wanted to conserve local recipes that can be used to prepare mouth-smacking dishes for the diners. Which of the following could be the best way to conserve local recipes? Best way to conserve local recipes. Which option should be done? Option A, the tie-up with the chef of the best restaurant in Palakkad to document recipes. Tie-up with the chef. Okay, so chef is expert. He has expertise. But the point is, will he be having expertise in local recipes? That we are not sure. Whether he has expertise in local recipes, that we are not sure. So option A, uncertain outcome. Okay, this is not the best way probably. Option B, hold a weekly competition for the best local dish and get it judged and documented by local volunteers. Option B में क्या करें? Holding a weekly competition for the best local dish and get it judged and documented by local volunteers. Now this is a good option. पे रखते हैं. Option C, ask free diners to contribute towards one recipe for a dish and give them the responsibility to document it. Okay. So we are asking free diners only to contribute towards one recipe for a dish and give them the responsibility also. So first of all, you are asking free diners to contribute towards one recipe for a dish. This is basically condition, kind of condition, isn't it so? So the way this is written, this is not right. Contributing one recipe for a dish and give them the responsibility to document it. और फिर एडिशनल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उन्हीं को दे दो डॉक्यूमेंट करने का. तो यहाँ से हमें कुछ कुछ ऑप्शन तो देखो मिल जाएगा, ठीक है, कुछ हेल्प मिलेगा. बट इज दिस होलिस्टिक? बिकॉज इन दिस केस दोज हु आर नॉट डाइनर्स एंड नॉन डाइनर्स कैन ऑल्सो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट, बट दे आर नॉट मेंशन्ड कैन ऑल्सो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट. बिकॉज ऑप्शन बी में वी आर होल्डिंग अ वीकली कॉम्पिटिशन फॉर द बेस्ट लोकल डिश, तो नॉन डाइनर्स विल ऑल्सो बी देयर, they can also participate and will be getting best recipes out of the best local dishes recipes out of that weekly competition. That is a good option. B is greater than C, much better than C, because in C we are only asking free diners, so they can only contribute. Option D, request a lady once a week in Palakkad to cook food at WBLCF on voluntary basis and document the recipes. Now we are requesting just a lady once a week, so too little effort, बहुत कम contribution होगा इससे. तो इससे तो सी बेटर था, तो सी इज ग्रेटर देन डी. लास्ट वन, टाई अप विद वन ऑफ फूड डिलीवरी पार्टनर्स टू हेल्प देम डॉक्यूमेंट द recipes. Now food delivery partners have expertise in delivery of food, so they are not experts in this. They've no much expertise in this, so this is not the good option. And between option A and option B, B is better option, and hence B must be selected. Holding a weekly competition for the best local dishes. In that way, you will be having diners as well as non-diners, and you will be having all the possible accumulation of the best local dishes, and they will be judged independently and documented by local volunteers. So cheap and effective, best way to conserve local recipes. Option B is there. Okay. Next set. Now next set is based on moonlighting, the practice of working for one organization while also accepting additional responsibilities and jobs, typically without the employer's knowledge in another organization. So moonlighting is the practice of working for one while also accepting additional responsibilities and jobs, typically without the employer's knowledge in the another organization. Okay, so you are doing two jobs in parallel as such. One will be your primary organization and second will be your secondary organization, and that you have joined in other times, odd times. It is named as such because it is typically performed at night or on the weekends. Doing two remote jobs at once was already happening. It was the biggest open secret out there in tech, said a US techie. Due to weaker margins, major Indian IT companies such as Infosys, TCS, and Wipro announced that they would delay, postpone, or reduce variable payouts to employees for the first quarter of fiscal year 2023. This drew attention to moonlighting. Now, due to reduction or delay or postponement of variable payouts, the moonlighting got emphasized, got popular. The Indian IT industry was divided on the issue of moonlighting. Some considered it unethical, while others viewed it as an urgent necessity. InfoZeta chairman Patrick's stance on this matter was crystal clear. There is a great deal of talk about people working part-time in the tech industry. This is cheating, pure and simple, he had tweeted. However, Macmillan, CEO of Beta Universe, does not consider moonlighting as cheating. Employment is a contract between an employer who pays me for working n number of hours per day, he explained. Now what I do after that time is entirely up to me. I can do whatever I please. This is the basic premise for this set. और अब क्वेश्चंस पे चलते हैं. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में ये पूरा प्रीमाइस तो सेम ही है. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which of the following options will have least negative consequence on moonlighting employees? So we need to identify that consequence which is least negative out of the given options. Option A, employees' performance may be adversely affected because of overworking. In case of moonlighting, since they are doing two parallel jobs, so if definitely employees' performance will be adversely affected. This is a valid concern. B, increased family problems because employee will not be spending quality time at home. This is also valid. Increased family problems. So option A is saying about performance being affected. Option B is saying about family problems. Option C, employer reducing daily working hours from 8 hours to 6 hours. Okay. Poor physical health of employees because of excess work. They are overburdened, so this will also lead to poor physical health. Option E, employer reducing salaries of employees because of moonlighting. So reduction in salary. So in one case, there is a decrease in performance. In option B, family problems, family issues. In option C, number of hours are reduced. In option D, physical health. Health is the concern. So health is going down, and option E, salary is going down, which is the least negative. लीस्ट नेगेटिव होगा व्हेन टाइम इज बीइंग रिड्यूस्ड, है कि नहीं? क्योंकि टाइम रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं, स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन भी नहीं है कि इसकी वजह से सैलरी पे फर्क पड़ेगा या नहीं पड़ेगा, बट इवन इफ द टाइम इज गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड तो दैट विल बी बेटर फॉर द एम्प्लॉई एज सच. अगर सैलरी रिड्यूस नहीं होता तो बेस्ट है. एंड अदरवाइज ऑल्सो ही विल बी गेटिंग टाइम फॉर मून लाइटिंग, है कि नहीं? टाइम फॉर मून लाइटिंग, फैमिली टाइम भी मिल जाएगा इसकी वजह से. हेल्थ पे भी इसका कोई एडवर्स इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा. सो दिस इज बेस्ट और लीस्ट नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंस आउट ऑफ द गिवन ऑप्शंस. Other are more major and more negative consequences in compared. है कि नहीं? Definitely B, option B, that is increased family problems, that is one of the worst, so should be rejected. Poor physical health should be rejected. Reduction in salary, that is also important, so should also be rejected. And performance भी negatively hamper हो रहा है, तो सारी option reject करोगे except option C. Reduction in daily working hours, definitely that should be selected. And the next question, Mr. Q is an IT professional who works for a small company in Bangalore. His office hours are from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thus, he wants to utilize his morning time. Office hours are 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and he wants to utilize his morning time. He thought of taking up extra work. However, he's not sure about the righteousness of his decision. So he's not really sure whether the decision to moonlight will be right or not. His company does not have any clear policy on moonlighting. As he is confused, he seeks opinion of the people who work in his industry to understand ethical dimension of moonlighting. So whether that is ethical or not. The following opinions are shared with Mr. Q. Opinion 1, moonlighting is unacceptable since the employer has a complete right over the employee. Unacceptable. Clearly unacceptable. So one extreme. Opinion 2, moonlighting is a choice of the employee. Opinion 1 कह रहा है employer has a complete right. Opinion 2 कह रहा है moonlighting is a choice of the employee and that the employer has no authority over the employee's conduct after office hours. So 1 and 2 are on two extremes. One is basically employer-centric perspective. Employer-centric, that employer has complete right. And second is employee-centric, कि employee has complete right and after office hours, employer has no authority whatsoever. Employee-centric. Opinion 3, moonlighting leads to employees missing out on important organizational work. So missing out on important work. Opinion 4, while moonlighting, the employee might unknowingly leak critical information. So the concern is unknowing leaking of critical information gained from one organization to the other organization. And opinion 5, it is okay to moonlight as employers are exploitative and underpay employees. Question है, given the above mentioned options, opinions, which of the following combinations will best help Mr. Q to realize that moonlighting is unethical? So conclusion should be that moonlighting is unethical. So which of the following options are doing that? और हमें चूज करने हैं 2 out of these 5. Which of these will be ensuring that moonlighting is unethical? Clearly, opinion 2 तो part of the answer नहीं होना चाहिए because that is employee centric. Isn't it so? Okay to moonlight, opinion 5 भी हमारा part of the answer नहीं होना चाहिए. 2 नहीं होगा तो 5 नहीं होगा तो ये भी आंसर नहीं होगा. और क्या हो सकता है? क्योंकि हमें unethical चाहिए. हाँ, ये भी नहीं होगा. So 3 and 4 और 1 and 5. So moonlighting is unacceptable. 1 हो गया, ठीक है. 3 कह रहा है leads to employees missing out on important organizational work. Now this is an ethical concern. They can miss out on some of the important organizational work. And fourth one, employee might unknowingly leak critical information gained from one organization to the other organization. 3 and 4 should be the answer. Option B will be the answer. Okay. Clear? Answer will be option B. 3 and 4 will be the answer. Next set. Now this is a set on fair consulting and complaint of sexual harassment. In recent years, complaints of sexual harassment at Fair Consulting had increased exponentially. Fair Consulting had a gender-neutral anti-sexual harassment policy and a committee to adjudicate on complaints. During the hearing of complaints, allegations and counter-allegations would fly thick and fast. This made it difficult for the adjudicating committee to conclusively decide on the complaints. Fair Consulting was mulling over, thinking about 3 interventions to reduce sexual harassment cases in the workplace, and they are as follows. Which of the following options will the employees find least ostracizing? Least ostracizing. Ostracizing यानी कि singled out. ठीक है, least singling out. Ostracizing यानी कि singled out. Okay. Feeling excluded. Which of these they will be finding least ostracizing? First, educate employees about the company's anti-sexual harassment policy. So that is being educating everyone. Okay? So you are educating all the employees. So since you are educating all the employees, so this is not ostracizing. You are not singling out employees on case-to-case basis. So you are doing it to everyone. So first will not be part of the answer. क्योंकि फर्स्ट इज सॉरी लीस्ट ऑस्ट्राइजेशन चाहिए ना, हाँ तो फर्स्ट शुड बी पार्ट ऑफ द आंसर, कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ द आंसर, क्योंकि फर्स्ट में हमारा ऑस्ट्राइजेशन कहाँ हो रहा है, तो सबके लिए साथ हो रहा है, एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल. हमें चाहिए वो केस जो कि एक्सक्लूसिव हो या फिर सिंगल आउट कर रहे हो, जहाँ पे हम एम्प्लॉइज को स्पेसिफिकली. सेकंड, प्रोफाइल एम्प्लॉइज विद द प्रोपेंसिटी टू एंगेज इन एक्ट्स ऑफ सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट. तो प्रोफाइलिंग ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज विद द प्रोपेंसिटी टू एंगेज, नाउ दिस इज एक्सक्लूजन, दिस इज सिंगलिंग आउट. केस टू केस बेसिस तुम देख रहे हो कौन सा एम्प्लॉय की चांसेस ज़्यादा होंगे टू एंगेज इन एक्ट ऑफ सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट. तो डेफिनेटली यू आर सिंगलिंग आउट देम. टू इज नॉट लीस्ट ऑस्ट्राइजिंग, टू शुड बी एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द आंसर. 3, discipline sexual offenders, यानी कि those who you are finding sexual offenders, they will be disciplined. तो एटलीस्ट जो सेक्सुअल ऑफेंडर्स हैं वो तो सिंगल आउट फील करेंगे ना, ऑस्ट्रासाइजिंग फील करेंगे इस बात को. तो 2 and 3 शुड बी एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द आंसर, 1 only will be the answer. Okay. 1 is that is least ostracizing. Okay. Next one. The CEO of Fair Consulting wanted the adjudicating committee to reduce the number of errors while deciding on sexual harassment complaints. So, CEO wanted reduce the number of errors while deciding on complaints. The employees suggested that the committee could be doing the following to reduce the error in judgment. And question है, from the following choose the most effective sequence that would help the committee to arrive at the right decision. अब हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या था इस केस में? प्रॉब्लम था इनिशियली during the hearing of the complaints, allegations and counter allegations would fly thick and fast. And both parties are heard. So in that case, allegations and counter allegations are flying thick and fast. So that is making the unbiased hearing difficult. Okay? So that is the major concern. So these are the suggestions. First suggestion, listen to the argument of both the complainant and the accused together. Okay. Second, listen to the arguments of both the complainants and the accused separately. Okay. Third one, involvement of a member of Women's Commission. Fourth one, take the help of a retired judge. And fifth, hire a forensic expert to verify evidence. So which one should be selected? Which should be, or sequence भी important है, किस sequence में select करेंगे? So since we have to anyway listen to the arguments of both complainant as well as accused, but when they are heard together, then complaints क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Allegations and counter allegations are flying. ठीक है, तो वो एक डिफिकल्टी बना रहा है. तो वन वे कुड बी दैट फर्स्ट यू हियर देम सेपरेटली. तो कंप्लेनेंट एज वेल एज एक्यूज्ड इज हर्ड सेपरेटली. You get their separate stories, and once you have heard their separate stories, then hear them together so that you can find inconsistencies in their stories. First hearing should be separately and then hear them together to find any inconsistencies. Isn't it so? ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट केस में you will be hearing them separately, 2 then followed by 1. And lastly, once you've heard both, after that, you should be hiring a forensic expert to verify evidences. Because involving a member of Women Commission will not be adding that much. ठीक है, इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हो, बट हमें यहाँ पे क्या चाहिए? 3 ही ऑप्शंस को चूज करना है, 3 ही चूज करने हैं हर एक केस में. तो डेफिनेटली हायरिंग अ फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन टू वेरीफाई एविडेंसेस, एंड दैट शुड बी डन एट लास्ट. तो 2 then 1 then 5, because 3 will not be helping that much, 4 will not be helping that much. So 2, 1, 5 will be the answer, option E. Okay. Clear? Next one. Of late, the adjudicating committee received a complaint from a junior female consultant. Her immediate boss cracked a bawdy joke about her in the office tuck shop. The bawdy is an insensitive or sexist joke. When the committee probed the alleged misconduct, they identified an independent witness as well. She agreed to give her testimony to the committee. However, she was unsure if she would like to be identified either by the complainant or the accused. So she was unsure whether she would like to be identified by complainant or the accused. So the convener of the committee was confused about the stance to be taken on the witness concerned. Which of the following will be the best stance to be taken by the convener? Option A, convener should not allow witness identity to be revealed, as either the accused or the complainant can use the witness argument to their advantage. Convener should not be letting witness identity be revealed, as it might expose her to a threat either from the respondent or the accused. Convener should ensure that witness identify herself, as it will ensure that she will not present frivolous proof related to the inquiry. Option D, convener should not allow witness identity to be revealed because complainant can sabotage the inquiry process. And option E, convener should ensure that witness identify herself because both the accused and the complainant must identify themselves. Now, which one is the best instance? सबसे पहले तो मैं decide करना है whether identity should be revealed or not. Isn't it so? Now, she's unsure whether she would like to be identified either by the complainant or by the accused. She's an independent witness. So, the stance taken by the convener should be to not identify the identity of witness. So, witness identity should not be revealed. That is first thing. ठीक है, witness identity should not be revealed. That is first thing. And then reasoning should also be important. तो कहाँ पे लिखा है कि not revealed? Option A is saying not revealed. Option B is saying should not be revealed. And option C is saying should be revealed. Option D is saying should not be revealed. Okay. So out of A, B and D, which one has the best excuse, best reason for that? Option A is saying as either the accused or the complainant can use the witness argument to their advantage. Okay. Option B कह रहा है as it might expose her to a threat either from the respondent or the accused. So this is talking about the witness safety, which is the basic premise, because then only witness can safely give the argument, again safely give her testimony, independent testimony, unbiased testimony, isn't it so? So that safety is important. So B is addressing that concern only. And option D is saying not be revealed because complainant can sabotage the inquiry process. Now this is completely unfounded. We have no idea whether complainant will be sabotaging the inquiry process, because हमें यही पता नहीं है कि independent witness किसके सपोर्ट में बोलेगा, ये तो मेंशन नहीं है. That is why option D is unfounded and B will be the answer. Okay, that convener should not reveal identity of the witness because it might expose her to a threat either from the respondent or from the accused. So this will be the answer in this case. क्या ये clear है? Okay. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट सेट लेते हैं. So next set is on Jamshedpur Tea Factory. The CEO of the Jamshedpur Tea Factory was in a quandary about over employees skipping work. So he was in a quandary over employees skipping work. यानी he was in a dilemma, perplexity, dilemma, doubt में क्या करें क्या ना करें. It was becoming increasingly difficult for him to identify employees who faked illness to skip work. So CEO was unable to find whether who faked illness or who has actually had illness for skipping work. The work of the employees was complex and intricate, and they had to report to 8 supervisors. So faking illness made it difficult for JTF to judicially decide on promotions and training of the employees. So every employee is basically reporting to 8 supervisors because of complex work, and their promotions and trainings, deciding on them is becoming difficult for JTF. Because of that, an employee could only be promoted on the completion of a multi-skill training program. So his promotion was dependent after completion of a multi-skill training program. Further, to be nominated for this training program, every employee must be recommended by a minimum of 6 supervisors. So he needed a reco of greater than or equal to 6 supervisors. JTF wanted to promote only sincere and deserving employees. That is the basic premise. So their concern was that some employees are faking illness and it is difficult to identify for JTF, and also further they cannot judicially decide on promotions because of this faking illness part and training of the employees. Employee could be promoted if he has completed a multi-skill training program, but for that he has to be nominated by greater than or equal to 6 supervisors. So CEO was thinking of changing the policy regarding leave, training and promotion. Which of the following will be most efficient course of action for JTF and yet be fair to the employees? Most efficient and still fair. So which one will be that? Option A, let the CEO office decide on the leave as well as promotions. Option B, let supervisors decide on the leave of an employee. Option C, that the CEO office decide on promotion, but each supervisor will decide on the leave. Option D, that the CEO office decide on the leave, but supervisors will recommend promotions. And option E, let the status quo continue. तो पहले से उस ऑप्शन को एलिमिनेट करो जो वर्स्ट ऑप्शन है. वर्स्ट क्या है? CEO office is thinking of changing the policy. ऑप्शन ई, स्टेटस क्यू कंटिन्यू. तो वहाँ पर तो प्रॉब्लम होता ही रहेगा. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? हमारा लीव में ही प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ फेक इलनेस, एंड देयर इज प्रॉब्लम ऑन प्रमोशन एंड ट्रेनिंग्स ऑल्सो. Option A is saying let the CEO office decide on the leave as well as promotions. So because CEO office is already deciding on leave as well as promotions, kind of, so that is why it is becoming difficult. This is centralized and not efficient. This is completely centralized and hence not efficient. और हमें चाहिए most efficient. Most efficient कब होगा? क्योंकि leave policy should be fair to all. And this will be fair if this is objective. Okay, one rule that applies to all. Isn't it so? The leave policy should be fair and objective. As far as promotions are concerned, so this is a subjective matter. Promotions depend on performance of a particular employee. So they are dependent on performance, and hence they are subjective. And how an employee is performing, that can be observed by the immediate supervisors. So promotions also depend on supervisors, है कि नहीं? So supervisor should have a say on promotions, because promotions should be subjective and leave should be objective. So ideally, leave should be the objective item, should be divided by the CEO for all the CEO office for all the employees, and promotions should be decided, or promotions there should be a say by the supervisors. Isn't it so? क्या clear है? ठीक है. तो ऑप्शन ए हमारा centralized है, definitely rejected. ऑप्शन बी कह रहा है let supervisor decide on the leave of the employee. Now there are total 8 supervisors. One employee has 8 supervisors, so there will be 8 decisions as such. So this will definitely not be efficient. 8 supervisor सबका अपना डिसीजन होगा, तो क्या एफिशिएंट होगा? नहीं होगा. Option C, let CEO office decide on promotion, but each supervisor will decide on the leave. Now again, this is saying each supervisor will be deciding on the leave. There are 8 supervisors, so there will be 8 decisions on leave, but CEO office will be deciding on promotions. और promotion में चाहिए हमें subjectivity, वो मिल नहीं पाएगा CEO office को, because CEO office is still finding it difficult to judicially decide on promotions. So this is not effective, not efficient, not effective. And option D, let CEO office decide on the leave. CEO office decide on the leave objectively, and supervisors will be recommending promotions. So this makes sense. ठीक है. डिसीजन तो CEO ऑफिस ही लेगा प्रमोशन पे, बट रिकमेंडेशंस विल बी कमिंग फ्रॉम सुपरवाइजर्स ओनली, एंड CEO ऑफिस विल बी डिसाइडिंग ऑन लीव्स. ऑप्शन डी इज द मोस्ट एफिशिएंट ऑफ द गिवन ऑप्शंस, एंड हेंस दैट मस्ट बी चोजन. क्या ये क्लियर है? बिकॉज लीव इज अ इशू जो कि फेयर होना चाहिए, ऑब्जेक्टिव होना चाहिए, बट प्रमोशन इज अ इशू जो कि सब्जेक्टिव होगा. विल डिपेंड ऑन द परफॉर्मेंस एंड अदर फैक्टर्स फॉर ईच एम्प्लॉई. ओके, and hence option D is the most efficient in the given conditions. Next question. Next is, which of the following policies will be most prone to error while selecting deserving and sincere employees? We need to identify that option, that policy which is most prone to error, not least but most, जहाँ पे maximum error होगा, which will be having maximum errors, that we have to select as the right answer in this case. Option A, outsource all leave decisions to a doctor whose judgment will be final. Option B, outsource all leave decisions to a lawyer whose judgment will be final. Option C, let the CEO office decide on leave, but supervisors will be recommending the promotion. Option D, let the CEO office decide on the leave as well as promotions. Option E, let the CEO office decide on promotions, but supervisors will be deciding on leave. तो option A में we are having कि all leave decisions should be outsourced to a lawyer, to a doctor. Now option B में to a lawyer. अब जितनी भी leaves होंगी, all leaves are of two types. Some leaves are medical leaves, sick leaves, and other leaves are non-medical leaves. Isn't it so? So for a doctor, it is easy to identify which medical leaves are right medical leaves and which are fake illnesses, but he is not an expert in non-medical leaves. Same for lawyer. Lawyer may decide non-medical leaves rightfully, but he is not an expert on medical leaves. So in case of outsourcing all leave decisions to a doctor, there will be error in non-medical leaves. So these will be amounting to error. But in case of a lawyer, there will be error in medical leaves. तो दोनों केसेस में error होगा. Isn't it so? Option C, let the CEO office decide on the leave and supervisor will be recommending the promotion. Now this is what we had chosen as the most efficient option in part इन क्वेश्चन 1, है कि नहीं? तो ये तो एफिशिएंट ऑप्शन है, यहाँ पे एरर मिनिमल होगा, कम से कम होगा, लेस एरर होगा, तो ये तो आंसर नहीं होगा. ऑप्शन डी, let the C office decide on the leave as well as promotions. So if the C office is overburdened with leave as well as promotions, so definitely this will be overburdening और एरर होगा यहाँ पे, बट कितना होगा नहीं कह सकते. ऑप्शन ई कह रहा है सी ऑफिस शुड बी डिसाइडिंग ऑन प्रमोशंस एंड सुपरवाइजर विल बी डिसाइडिंग ऑन द लीव. नाउ इफ सुपरवाइजर डिसाइडिंग ऑन द लीव, देयर विल बी एरर ऑन दिस पार्ट, and if C office is deciding on promotions, there will be error here as well. So both parts are full of errors. That is why option E will be the answer. Okay. In this case, दोनों ही केसेस में एरर होगा, तो हमें ऑप्शन ई को चूज करना है. दैट विल बी द आंसर. ओके, बिकॉज फिर यहाँ पे लीव में भी बायस आएगा, है कि नहीं? लीव में भी बायस होगा, इनकन्सिस्टेंसी होगी, सब्जेक्टिविटी होगा, जबकि हमें लीव में ऑब्जेक्टिविटी चाहिए. तो जहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्टिविटी चाहिए वहाँ पे सब्जेक्टिविटी आ जाएगा. लीव में वी नीड ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, बट उल्टा सब्जेक्टिविटी आ जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ सुपरवाइजर्स. और इन प्रमोशंस वी नीड सब्जेक्टिविटी and they will be having more objectivity. So both will be erroneous and hence answer will be option E in this case. Also कि A और B दोनों 50% तो सही है ही, दोनों क्योंकि इक्वल फुटिंग पे हैं, तो उनमें से कोई आंसर तो वैसे भी नहीं हो सकता. Because in one case, my doctor will be expert in a medical leaves, so he will be definitely efficient in medical leaves but not efficient in non-medical leaves. Similarly, lawyer will be efficiently judging non-medical leaves but not efficiently medical leaves. तो A और B में से कोई भी आंसर होना पॉसिबल नहीं है, और C इज डेफिनेटली द मोस्ट एफिशिएंट पार्ट, तो वहाँ पे तो एरर मिनिमल होगा. और फिर डेफिनेटली बेस्ट ऑप्शन हमारा क्या आ रहा है? ऑप्शन ई आ रहा है, क्योंकि ऑप्शन ई में एरर विल बी मैक्सिमम आउट ऑफ द गिवन ऑप्शंस. तो ऑप्शन ई विल बी सेलेक्टेड. ओके, नेक्स्ट सेट, लास्ट सेट of XAT 23. Dhan, a poor but enterprising 15-year-old, resided in the world's largest slum in a metropolitan city, along with her widowed mother. The densely packed slum housed about 1 million people, mostly in rickety one-room tenements. Rickety one-room tenements. Rickety यानी कि poor structure, poorly structured, collapsible. रिकेट्स होता है ना, रिकेट्स इज द डिजीज जब विटामिन डी डेफिशिएंसी होता है, तो वहाँ वही सेम हाल है. रिकेटी वन-रूम tenements connected by labyrinthine irregular routes, labyrinthine lanes and by-lanes. Dhan's mother worked intermittently as a daily wager in a small savoury factory. Intermittently यानी कि not a regular worker, a daily wager but intermittently in a small savoury factory. For a 15-year-old, Dhan's life was hectic. She spends 2 hours per day in fetching water for the household, packing breakfast and lunch. In addition, she has to prepare supper as well. On her mother's insistence, Dhan also attended an evening bridge school run by an NGO. Now, Dhan's dream was to provide a comfortable life to her mother and take her family out of poverty. Of late, Dhan observed that the customers to a nearby TCS, Tea-cum-savoury stall, were mostly the slum dwellers who thronged the stall for the low prices and lack of alternatives. Further, Dhan gathered that the TCS could not cater to all of its customers, and there are other customers to whom TCS is unable to cater, and owner still made a neatly rupees 800 profit per day. So that is a good amount. Dhan saw that a probable first step towards her family's economic independence could be to own her own TCS. So she wants to own her own TCS. So from the following, choose the best option that will increase Dhan's chances of realizing her dream of starting a venture. Which option will be best option that will increase Dhan's chances of realizing the dream? And dream क्या है हमारा? Dream is to own a TCS. Option A, request mother to fetch water for the household. Okay. Option B, hire someone at rupees 10 per day to fetch water for the household. Option C, request mother to stop working and be a partner in the venture. Option D, stop going to the bridge school. And option E, request mother to pack her own breakfast and lunch. Which will be the best option? So option A is, in option A, it is requesting mother to fetch water. And option E, requesting mother to pack her own breakfast. Now, her mother is anyway working intermittently as a daily wager. So will it be not be overburdening her? Option A and option E both are additional burden on mother. And how is this going to help her increase her chances? Additional burden on the mother who is already working. Option B, hiring someone at rupees 10 per day. So this will free some time for her. है कि नहीं? बट विल दिस इंक्रीज द चांसेस? भाई कुछ टाइम फ्री हो जाएगा, बट मोर टाइम इज नॉट इक्वल टू सक्सेस। भाई स्ट्रेटजी भी तो होनी चाहिए, इंग्रेडिएंट्स भी तो होनी चाहिए, बाकी भी तो और फैक्टर्स होते हैं। तो मोर टाइम इज नॉट ऑलवेज इक्वल टू सक्सेस। ज़्यादा टाइम है तुम्हारे पास डज नॉट मीन कि यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल, है कि नहीं? सो व्हाट वे आर यू यूटिलाइजिंग दैट टाइम, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट। तो ऑप्शन बी में ज़्यादा टाइम मिलेगा, बट दैट विल ऑल्सो बी अ कॉस्ट, एट अ कॉस्ट, नॉट हाई कॉस्ट, बट कॉस्ट तो रहेगा फिर भी। ऑप्शन सी, रिक्वेस्ट मदर टू स्टॉप वर्किंग एंड बी अ पार्टनर इन द न्यू वेंचर। नाउ हर मदर इज नॉट अ फुल टाइम वर्कर, शी इज वर्किंग intermittently as a daily wager, and she is working at a small savory factory, and she also wants to open a tea-cum-savoury stall. तो जो स्टॉल खोलना है, दैट इज अ tea-cum-savoury stall, and her mother works in a small savory factory. तो हर मदर विल बी हैविंग एक्सपर्टीज इन सेवरीज, एक्सपर्ट नॉलेज होगा, सेवरीज का नॉलेज होगा, बिकॉज शी इज वर्किंग इन दैट फैक्ट्री। एंड इफ शी हैज द नॉलेज, then she can definitely help, and her help will be increasing the chances of done, isn't it so? So that is why option C is the best among the given options. Option C should be the answer, that requesting mother to stop working and be a partner in a new venture. That way she will be having a competitive advantage, because her mother knows how to make savories, good savories, so she will be having a competitive advantage in that case. अच्छा, ऑप्शन डी कह रहा है स्टॉप गोइंग टू द ब्रिज स्कूल, यानी कि एजुकेशन भी खत्म कर दो। तो अनलेस वेरी एक्सट्रीम ऑप्शन, ऐसा कभी भी नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज एजुकेशन implies future prospects. So by ending that, she is also abandoning her future as well, isn't it so? So C is the best option among the given options. Clear? And for that also, it was mentioned that Dhan's mother is working independently as a daily wager in a small savory factory. So that was there. That was a key factor. उसको ढंग से पढ़ा होगा तो ऑप्शन को सही से हिट कर पाए होगे, अदरवाइज मिस कर दिया होगा समाव। ओके, और ए और ई तो वर्स्ट ऑप्शन है, बिकॉज यू आर ओवर बर्डनिंग द मदर विद एडिशनल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज वाइल शी इज एनीवे वर्किंग। Next question. Within 2 years of establishment, Dhan's TCS is not only outcompeting its nearest rivals in a slum, but has also earned a goodwill for the quality and taste of its products. It has earned a goodwill for quality and taste. Hence, it has become famous within the slum as Dhan Dhanadhan brand. Dhan now aspires to expand the reach of her savories into the metropolitan region. Dhan wishes to scale up her savory production from 100 kg to 1000 kg per day while maintaining quality. Then realizes that her establishment does not have the space for expansion. So there are two concerns. One is increase in the quantity while maintaining the quality, and additionally she needs to expand, so space is not there. Which of the following options will best help Dhan to scale up production with the least investment, tight quality control, and also protect her business interests? So there are three concerns. First concern is least investment. Second concern is quality control, and third concern is business interest. So you have to choose each option and rate them in these three dimensions. First one, provide the savory dough and preparation instructions to 100 willing women in the slum and co-opt them as business partners. So you are providing them savory dough and preparation instructions. You are not giving them the formula, but you are giving them savory dough, yani ki Dhan is giving them savory dough and preparation instructions. So that way quality control is there. Now 100 willing women in the slum, so investment is almost zero. You're not purchasing any additional space or anything, and business interest is also secured because you are making them, co-opting them as business partners. So this is a good option. Option B, buy additional space within the slum and establish own manufacturing unit. So additional space is being purchased within the slum. So this will be cost. This will be having cost, and quality control will still be there, and establishing own manufacturing unit. This is a good option. ठीक है, cost slightly higher रहेगा, तो definitely option A is better than option B, because option A में you are making it more inclusive. You are then is asking 100 willing women in the slum, making them business partners, giving them savory dough and preparation instructions. So A is better than option B, because investment is minimal, tight quality control is there, and this is also protecting her business interest. Option C. और B में हमें चाहिए कॉस्ट चाहिए, एडिशनल स्पेस पहले परचेज करना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद की बात है। एडिशनली फिर वो स्लम के अंदर ही परचेज कर रहे हो, और सेल कहाँ पे करना है? सेल करना है बाद में जाकर मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन में। ओके, ऑप्शन सी, लीज स्पेस इन द मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन एंड एस्टैब्लिश अ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट ऑफ TCS. Now you are leasing space in the metropolitan region. This will be much costlier than option B, more cost. ठीक है, बाकी तो ठीक है, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल रहेगा। और बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट रहेगा मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली। सो कॉस्ट और भी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया, तो ऑप्शन ए बी सी में बेस्ट कौन सा था? बेस्ट ऑप्शन ए है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे कॉस्ट मिनिमल है, कॉस्ट ऑलमोस्ट जीरो है। ऑप्शन डी, आउटसोर्स द प्रोडक्शन। जैसे आउटसोर्स किया, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल खत्म हो गया। ऑप्शन डी में क्वालिटी कंट्रोल खत्म हो गया। अलॉन्ग विद सीक्रेट रिसाइप्स, सीक्रेट रिसाइप्स दे दी, यानी कि तुमने बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट भी तुम्हारा कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गया। एंड मास सेवरी प्रोडक्शन यूनिट आउटसाइड द स्लो। ओके, तो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल भी खत्म, बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट भी खत्म, तो ऑप्शन डी तो डेफिनेटली वर्स्ट ऑप्शन हो गया। ऑप्शन ई, स्टॉप कैटरिंग द स्लम डवेलर्स एंड स्टार्ट सर्विंग द मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन एक्सक्लूसिवली। अब यहाँ पे कहीं पे भी इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात नहीं की, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल की बात नहीं की, इंस्टेड क्या क्या कि अपना जो कोर बिजनेस है वो भी खत्म कर दो। स्टॉप कैटरिंग द स्लम डवेलर्स एंड स्टार्ट सर्विंग द मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन एक्सक्लूसिवली। So this is also irrelevant, does not make sense कि you are removing, you are not even serving to the basic your core base, और फिर उसके बाद में नए रीजन पे जा रहे हो, ठीक है, कोर बेस को छोड़ ही दिया। सो दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली irrelevant, makes no sense whatsoever. तो ऑप्शन ए इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन among the given options with least investment and all quality control and business interests are preserved. Okay, तो ऑप्शन ए इज द बेस्ट among the given. Next question. Dhan with her ingenuity finds a way to scale up her production capacity on her own terms. Though Dhan's TCS has become the famous Dhan Dhan brand within the slum, it is still unknown to the outside world. Thus, Dhan embarks on the next challenge of creating a market for savouries amongst the masses in metropolitan region. From the following, choose the best option that will help Dhan to sell her products at lowest price to maximum number of metropolitan customers. So she has to sell her products at the lowest price. Prices should be lowest and maximum number of metropolitan customers are made with that price. Option A, hire a few sales executives to sell products of Dhan Dhan brand. So she's hiring a few sales executives. So this will be having some cost. Overwhelm the metropolitan residents with digital advertisement of Instagram. Okay. So you are doing digital, she's doing digital advertisement on Instagram. So that will be more costly because she's overwhelming them. So there will be too many advertisements. So this will be costly. रिजल्ट क्या होगा? रिजल्ट इज अननोन, अनसर्टेन। हायरिंग सेल्स सेक्रेटरी, रिजल्ट क्या होगा? रिजल्ट तो अनसर्टेन है, ठीक है, तो मैक्सिमम नंबर्स तक रीच आउट कर रही है, नहीं रीच आउट कर पा रही है, दैट इज नॉट श्योर, बट डेफिनेटली कॉस्ट विल बी देयर। ऑप्शन सी, रीच आउट टू द मॉल्स, हाई एंड रिटेल स्टोर्स इन द मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन थ्रू अ few marketing executives to sell the products. Now again, there will be a cost. Marketing executives are there and you are reaching out to the malls and high-end retail stores. अब यहाँ पे इतना आसान थोड़ी है पहुँचना, तो this will be more costly and outcome is still uncertain. And even then, you will not be reaching to maximum number of metropolitan customers because your customers will be limited to those who are going out in malls and high-end retail stores. Isn't it so? तो तुम्हारा कस्टमर बेस भी लिमिटेड होगा और कॉस्ट भी हाई होगा, तो दिस इज नॉट प्रेफरेबल ऑप्शन. ऑप्शन डी, engage slum dwellers commuting daily to metropolitan region for work to sell the products on commission basis. Engage slum dwellers commuting daily to metropolitan, they are anyway going to metropolitan region, ठीक है, तो you are not paying them to go to metropolitan region, they are anyway commuting there for work to sell the products on commission basis. Now you are asking them to sell on commission basis and you are not paying them at all, तो cost is almost zero. You will only be paying them if there are sales, तो sales पे मिलेगा commission. This is a very good option. And you are engaging slum dwellers, those who are commuting, so that way you are reaching maximum number of metropolitan customers able to sell your products at the lowest price, because price क्यों lowest होगा? क्योंकि cost is zero और sales is commission based, so that is a good option. This is a good option. Option E, hire a celebrity who currently endorses a diamond jewelry brand Kalyan to endorse the Dhan Dhan brand. ठीक है, तो Dhan Dhan brand को endorse करने के लिए you are hiring a celebrity. अब ये इससे ज़्यादा कॉस्ट तो कहीं पे भी नहीं होगा. इफेक्टिवनेस भले हो सकता है यहाँ पे, बट डायमंड ज्वेलरी ब्रांड को इंडोर्स करने वाला सेलिब्रिटी यू आर हायरिंग, सो डेफिनेटली दिस इज वेरी कॉस्टली, मच कॉस्टली देन ऑल द अदर ऑप्शंस. डेफिनेटली दिस विल नॉट बी सेलेक्टेड. बेस्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन डी, engaging slum dwellers commuting daily to metropolitan region for work to sell the products on commission basis. That will be the best option for Dhan to ensure that she is able to sell her products at the lowest price to maximum number of metropolitan customers. So this was all about the decision making sets from XAT 2023. I believe जो भी सेशन जो भी हमने सेट डिस्कस किया सारी सारी बातें समझ में आई होंगी. फिर भी किसी क्वेश्चन में अगर कहीं पे डाउट रहता है तो मेक श्योर टू कमेंट अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, एंड इफ यू लाइक दिस सेशन देन मेक श्योर हिट द लाइक बटन एज वेल. दैट्स ऑल फॉर दिस सेशन. बाय, टेक केयर एंड कीप लर्निंग.